Hey everybody, Rocktimus Prime here, and welcome to episode 1 of the Toy Box. Now this is where we talk about anything that is not Transformers. It's exactly the same to my Transformers show, but it's on stuff that ain't Transformers. So let's start off today with the Sideshow Cult Classics from Sideshow Collectables, Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom 1/6 scale figure. Now this is the Temple of Doom version of Indiana Jones. Now this isn't my favorite version of Indiana Jones, but it is the one that was for sale, so I bought it. And there are things you can do to make this Indiana Jones look more like the classic Indiana Jones. You can buy the accessories and stuff from the first one off of eBay, and I do plan to do that at some point, but I wanted to review him in his raw state. Now this is the box. It is a very nice box. That is the actual figure there on the box, recreating the movie poster, and it is fantastically done. I love that so much. You see, this is the Sideshow Collectables exclusive version, which we'll get into in a moment. It has some exclusive accessories and things that don't come with a normal version. Although this is the Sideshow version, I don't know if it had an extra version. On the back, you see another nice picture of the figure. There you have Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom. And this is actually a read-up off of the original VHS tape, off the back of it, off the back of the VHS tape. So, that is really cool. And it is just a shoebox style, so you just take off the top. And here you have everything for the actual figure of Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom right there. His hat, his sword. His sword or his dagger. 3 of the Shankara stones there, his gun, his hands. And this is only tier 1. There is another tier underneath this that houses things like his whip, his figure stand, and some other items. But very, very cool. I really do like that. This is just a slip, so you move it off the figure to get to the second tier. Now, let's move on to the toy. And here is the figure out of his package. And he is spectacular. He is so very cool. I do have a couple of issues right off the bat here. First up is a head sculpt. Now, I don't think that face sculpt really looks like Harrison Ford, but I mean, if you're looking at it and you know it's supposed to be Harrison Ford, it kind of looks like him. Maybe a little bit, kind of, not really. But there's also a seam line where the hair actually removes for the hat to fit on. And I don't know, that it's hard to make hair look seamless if it's supposed to come off. So most of the time I just play him with this hat just because I think that looks kind of bad. So staying in close here so you can see some of the details on the figure. Really nice khaki shirt going on there, and it is ripped like it is in the movie. Very, very cool. Nice and untucked and, you know, just shabby looking like he does in the movie, because he goes through a lot in this film. Coming around here to the side, you see nice arm. And coming around here to the back, you do see some blood and whip marks, although they don't actually go onto the figure, which is kind of a shame. It would be really cool to have that extra detail where it's whipped across. But, again, there are things you can do. One of the reasons a lot of people buy this figure, again, is to make him look more like Indiana Jones in the Raiders of the Lost Ark movie. And that is one way that you can do it. You just take this shirt off and put the new one on him. Very nice detail here on the arm. You get the individual hairs and things like that, which is really cool, nice and sculpted in there. And one distinguishing feature that they have is they have this hand wrapped in a bandage kind of thing. It is accurate to the show, or to the movie, and I really think it's a really nice detail that they didn't have to include, but they did. So again, coming on down here, you see he has his pistol holder, his weapon holster, whatever. You do see his nice pants. He has a very square rip there on the knee. Kind of, again, why, but whatever. You see a nice amount of detail here. Nothing on the back. I would have liked it if they were like muddied or something, but maybe I'm just expecting too much. The shoes are very nice, and if you pull them up, he is wearing shoes with no socks. But there is nice detail. You see a couple nice rips and tears and things in the leather that I didn't actually notice before until I started filming this. They've got nice tears and a nice weathering effect on the shoes themselves, which makes it look like he's worn these for months, for years, and has never changed them. And with all the rough and tough situations that he's in, they get pretty beat up. One of the feet will bend. He'll just go like that, and all of a sudden he'll clunk, he'll fall over. I have him displayed towards the front of my detolf, so when he leans forward, he's leaning up against the door, so when I open it, he goes, ah! Moving on to some accessories. This guy comes with a lot of accessories. Starting off things first here, he does come with his pistol, which is very nice and very nicely detailed. It's not metal, which I'm kind of okay with. It would have been nice if it was metal, but it's a toy, who cares? Probably would have racked up the price a little bit too. The hammer doesn't work and the trigger doesn't work, but what you can do is you can pop that part of the gun open and see that he actually has bullets inside on this side. There also are little golden pieces on the inside of the gun. I can kind of see it. There's something in there. So the bullets actually go all the way through. They are not removable, but they are completely 100% sculpted in. So that is a very nice feature, and when you close it, you can kind of see the bullets, but it's enough of a detail where it's like, you know, whatever. He also comes with this metal knife sword thing that he used to cut the cable in the movie on the bridge, and it is nice, and it is die cast. At least the blade is. I'm pretty sure that everything that's silver on this is die cast, like this bit, and these are just the plastic pieces glued on. It's a very nice accessory, very nice and very heavy accessory. I'm sure if you wanted to, you could sharpen this and actually use it to like butter your toast or cut your knife. So that is a nice little accessory. He also comes with the 3 Sankara stones. Sankara stones? I don't know. That he gets at the end of the movie. And he's sort of sent after one to find it, and the other 2 kind of fall into the ocean. But these are the spiritual stones of the movie, and it's really cool that he comes with the 3, so you can have him displayed with the 2 in the bag and 1 in his hand, or the 3 in the bag and, you know, the weapon in his hand, or whatever. Now, I believe this is the Sideshow exclusive accessory. He comes with 3 of the same stones, but they're crystallized. They're transparent to replicate when they lit up in his hand and fell out of his bag. Now, there's a lot of molded detail in here, and they have cracks and things like that that I don't see in the other stones, which is weird. Like, there's that crack there that I don't see in the other one. The black flakes are kind of weird. I don't see that in the other one. It would have been nice if the lines were still painted, because I feel like this kind of loses that detail but gains other ones. It's weird, and it kind of loses itself in itself. Like, regular stones are nice and detailed, but then when they get lit up, it's like, oh, it's just a hunk of transparent plastic. But it is good for display. Now, Indiana Jones would be nothing without his whip. Now, he does come with 2 versions. This is the version that I display with him, and we'll get to the other one in a second. But this is a curled up version. You can have him hold, or you can have on his side, and we'll get to that here in a second. But it's really cool that you get a curled up version to have him just hold, or just to have as an accessory just hanging on the side of him. That's very cool. You also do get an extended version of his whip, and it is this. And it's got the same amount of nice braided detail, goes all the way down, and at the end, I just whipped you, sorry, there is a notch where the actual whip part begins. And that's very, very cool. Now, one problem I do have with it is it comes in the package and it's wrapped around the package like this. So there's a bend in it here and here. Now, I'm sure with a little heat you could warp that plastic so it comes out straight. I think you're just kind of supposed to have it in his hand, like draped on the ground behind him. I don't know. Like I said, I use the curled up one, so this just goes back in the box because I don't have enough room in my detolf to display him actually whipping things, which would be cool. Moving on to the final set of accessories. In addition to the 2 relaxed hands that are currently on the figure, you do also get these 2 more relaxed circle holding hands things. These are sort of made for his whip. You just slide it in there and he can hold on to it. They do get a right and a left. Like I said, the one which is his left does come with the bandage on it, which is very cool. An even more relaxed open holding hands pose, for I believe these are for the sword. I could be wrong, but I think these are for the sword. He comes with a right and left fist, and a right and left hand for holding the Sankara stone. Now you can have either one hold it. I think in the movie it's actually his wounded hand that holds it. I could be wrong. I need to rewatch Temple of Doom. Like I said, it's not my favorite Indiana Jones movie. And he also comes with his right hand molded to hold his gun. Once you get it in his hand, it does look very, very cool. Now, I would wish that the hammer would pull back, but again, it's one of those things where it's like, oh, it's the size of a quarter. You know, how are you actually going to do that? but it is made to look like he's about to fire it, so that is pretty cool. Now, honestly, I don't display him with his pistol. One of the reasons is because the pistol holster doesn't actually hold the pistol very well. If you wanted to have him like drawing his pistol, or doing the Han Solo pose, you could do that with this pistol. But again, it's one of those accessories that I don't display with him, and it's probably just going to go in the back of the box. Another thing that he comes with, and these Hot Toys come with amazing amount of accessories, he comes with this little bag that he put the stones in, and it is just magnetically clasped. It is just magnetically clasped. It is just magnetically clasped. Yeah. The last sort of accessory that I think of, aside from the one that I'm saving for the end, is his stand, his display stand. Now, like I said, he does have a problem where he kind of falls over, but if you display him properly, it's not a big problem. It does say Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom right there. Now, it's black on black. I do wish that was in the Indiana Jones font, like on the front of the box, but it is what it is, whatever. And finally, Indiana Jones would not be Indiana Jones without his faithful fedora hat. Now, this is actually coming off a bit more brown on camera, but it's kind of a green. It's a greeny brown, and it looks okay. It looks a bit poofy, but then again, the hat in the movie looked kind of poofy as well. So it is very faithfully reproduced here in plastic form. Now, there is a magnet on the underside, and it is molded to go around the sculpt of Indy's hair. So what you want to do to give him his hat, you just want to scalp him. You just want to take his hair off, and you can kind of see what I'm talking about. There's that hair left. So you just take the hat, plop it on him, like so. And it does look a little big, but again, faithfully representing the movie here, it does look big in the movie, because this isn't the original hat from Raiders. It is a brand new one, which I think they got a similar hat for Last Crusade. I could be wrong on that, though. I could be wrong. I think they got the same one from the two movies, Raiders and Last Crusade. I'm not a huge fan of this hat, so another hat is one thing I'm going to buy off eBay as well. Now, like I said, you can put the pistol in this here. It is, again, a magnet that holds it shut. It doesn't hold it fantastically, and you can't shut the holster with it in there. Again, I tend to leave it out. Now, this side has a thing for his whip. Now, I got this from Optibotimus, aka Paul. And he had a problem of his magnet coming off, so I just need to super glue that back on. As you can see, the magnet is attached to the other magnet, so I just need to super glue the leather back onto the magnet, and off we go. We'll go over his articulation real quick. The head is on a ball joint, but mine, every time you move it, you want to have him look up or down, it comes off of the ball joint. It's not going to do it now because it's on camera, but that is one thing that's kind of annoying. You do get a nice range of movement in the arms. They go back and forth, very kind of squeaky. He has very stiff elbow joints, but they are ratcheted slightly. So to get him in kind of a natural pose, you can do it. You just have to get it so it's between the ratchets. The hand is on a joint that goes up and down and rotates, so you can get nice human motions out of the hand. So it's very, very faithfully recreating the anatomy and the movement that a real human has. His waist is a waist joint, nice and swivelly. Shush foam. You do get a slight ab crunch. It's very slight. It goes more back than it does forward. The hips go forward. They are stopped by the material of the pants. They go back that far. They go out about that far. They do have a knee joint again. It is a double knee joint. So it's very cool. That's about as far as it'll go back, but that's about as far as I want it to go back. And can someone tell me what this pose is? And his feet are on ball joints, so you can get them doing whatever you want. Now let's accessorize our Indy. Let's give him his bag. We'll give him his whip. If we want to give him the Sankara stones, all we need to do, is take off his hand. Now, another thing that I really like about these Hot Toys, or these Sideshow toys, is that this specific version of Indiana Jones, every hand has a new peg. Unlike some of the newer ones where everyone comes off of the peg and you need to replace them sometimes because they break. These just have new pegs that you just slide into the hand, kaplop, like that, and there you have it. Now let's get one of the shiny stones and just wedge it into his hand like that. Can be a little tricky to get it to stay, but once you have it, you have a very nice display option. I really dig how this guy looks when he's kind of contemplating the Sankara stone in his hand, like he caught it. You know, it's really cool how this guy came out. Now, again, like I said, this isn't my favorite version of Indiana Jones. To me, that is still either Raiders or Last Crusade. Now, I am going to get there's a company that made 1/6 scale versions of the Young Indiana Jones and Henry Jones Sr. I'm going to get those eventually and put them in my new Indiana Jones display, and once I get him looking like Raiders Indy. Now, I'd say if you guys want to pick this guy up, you should. He is definitely a very good Indiana Jones figure from one of the more mediocre movies. I personally am going to try to make him look more like he did in Raiders and Lost Crusade. Last Crusade. But that doesn't mean that this is a bad figure at all. It is a very good figure with amazing amounts of detail on the figure. Accessories are amazing. It's just, he doesn't really... It's not my ideal Indiana Jones. When I think of Indiana Jones, I don't think Temple of Doom. I think Raiders. Or depending on the mood I'm in, Last Crusade. So that's pretty much all I can say for Indiana Jones here. So this has been Optimus Prime with the first episode of Toy Box. Hope you guys enjoyed. I had a lot of fun shooting it. And look for more videos like this in the future. Take care, guys.